exchanged gunfire with a 25-year-old. 2 other 18-year-olds were taken into custody by the Milwaukee police, who are investigating the incident, and the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office is reviewing all pending charges for those involved. A new Kohl's department store is set to open on November 3rd. The store will take the space of the old Boston store building on North Val Phillips Avenue, with entrances on Wisconsin Avenue and an entrance from the 3rd Street Market Hall. The opening of the store in this location is a part of Kohl's strategy to create smaller and more regional stores to cater to local markets. The department store will also house a 2,500 square foot Sephora and will also accept Amazon returns. A new dog park is set to open under I-794 in summer of 2024. The Milwaukee Downtown Business Improvement District and the historic Third Ward Business Improvement District planned the $750,000 development. City officials have also approved a Riverwalk, which will be featured by the dog park. The park will feature small and large dog areas, fancy fencing, synthetic turf, water stations, and much, much more. The park is also part of an initiative to better bridge the downtown and Third Ward areas. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's Monday. It's happy day. Is it bright out? It's not really. It's starting to get dark early, right? So I'm not really, it's okay. It's all right. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I got a question. And I want an answer. I might even take a call or two, because the more I think about it, the more I start to wonder and understand what it is that we as black people do when it comes to, for lack of a better phrase, home health. So what does a piece of tissue stuffed in your nose mean? And so it was interesting, because I was asked that question today, and I was like, it can mean a couple things. And they kind of looked at me like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, it can mean a couple things. It can mean your nose is bloody and you have, blood running out of your nose. And if there's no blood in the little tissue, that means it's what? 833-212-1017 is the number. What does that even mean? Beating a cold, beating an illness, beating the flu, not having a job. What are some of the ways black people use to remedy issues that are not mainstream? Right? For example, I have it on good authority, and I don't know if it's Catholics or Hispanic. I don't know what ethnicity does it. When they want to sell their house, they put the statue of some saint in their front yard upside down. Like they bury it upside down. Some weird whatever. I shouldn't say weird. Some superstition that they do that causes it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I'm trying to understand. There are some things in our community that we do that are 100% detrimental, but yet we just don't think about it. And yet there's some things that are part of black folklore that we do that seem to work. For instance, talking to a young man today, one of my teammates, 24 years old. I remember him because I remember when his wife, I'm a friend of his father and mother, and I remember when she was actually pregnant with him. Like that's how much I've known him since he was born. I remember when he was in a crib, like talking over the crib, right? That kind of. And I said, where do you put Vicks Vapor Rub? And he said, well, on your nose, if you got a stuffy nose, or on your chest. And I said, why would you put it on your chest? Is there any other place you'd put it? And he said, well, no. I said, depends on how you feel. And I said, well, have you ever heard that you put Vicks Vapor Rub on your feet? And so some people his age heard it, and other people in his age haven't heard that. I don't know who's heard that. I know I heard it from my grandmother, my mother. And so my question was, well, have you heard it goes on your feet? And it doesn't matter what kind of cold you have. So before you go to bed, take a shower, put Vicks Vapor Rub on your feet, put your socks on, and you'll pretty much sweat that cold right out of you when you wake up the next morning. And I used to think it was dumb. But every now and then you get that point where you get so sick, you go, you know what? Nothing else is working. I've taken all the over-the-counter crap and Tylenol and cold this and cold that, and it's not working. So what did I do? Went and took a shower, put some Vicks Vapor Rub on my feet, found some old white sweat socks, put them on, went to bed, sweated like a pig. Does pigs even sweat? Anyway, sweated like a pig, and then woke up the next morning and clear throat, sinuses clear. Strangest thing in the world. But isn't that what we do? Is that a byproduct of us not being able to get health care and having to come up with remedies for ourselves? Is that us having to manufacture a way? Is that us hoping God will make a way somehow? Because some of them are true. Some of them work. Some of them, not so much. What are some of yours? What are some of your black home remedies that have worked over time? For me, that was the key one. I've heard some others that I kind of went, I don't think I'm going to do that. My mind's not open enough for me to do that. I've heard things specifically for women. I've heard some things specifically for men. I find it interesting, right? 833-212-1017. What are some of the ways black people use folklore for home remedies? Is it really folklore, or is it the truth? Because they work. Not for everybody. Nothing works for everybody. But then all of a sudden, you try it, and it works. So I've done that. I have, watch this. One daughter's in college, the other one's in high school. And I know you'll laugh at me, so I'm going to take it up front. One's in high school, one's in college. And I tell them, put your shoes on, you're going to catch a cold. And my daughter looks at me and says, Dad, that's old folklore. I am not going to catch a cold with no shoes on. I said, yes, you will. My mother always told me, put your shoes on, you're going to catch a cold. And she said, Dad, what part of your feet, when they get cold, is going to make you, or a virus is going to come through your foot from the floor to get sick? And I looked at her and I went, it'll be, yeah. She said, the most you'll get is your feet will be cold until you get used to the floor. And that's pretty much it. But you're not going to catch a cold walking around. I said, well, what about exposure? She said, you're in the house. If you're cold, put some shoes on. She said, but you're not going to catch a cold. I said, well, then what about wearing a hat on your head because you can catch a cold? She said, heat escapes from your head. Just put a hat on. And I was like, is that scientific or is that folklore? See, for me, I want to follow black folklore. It's easier. It's cheaper. It's not a doctor. You don't have to pay nobody. But is that accurate? 833-212-1017 is the number. My topic today, I want to know the most important piece of information for you that falls in the area of black folklore.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris, and I am Milwaukee. Truth in the Afternoon is a platform where you and I can share our love, our lives, and our journey together. That is why, as a fan, your perspective is key. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Milwaukee and surrounding areas, prepare to be scared. Boo!
Get ready as the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce presents
The Chamber of Horrors.
Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in October.
from 7 p.m. to midnight. Ages 14 and older are recommended.
Visit the chamber after work hours for a night of horror. Only if you dare.
The address is 2900 West Village Street.
$15 to enter, but you might not leave. Go to twbcc.com and click more for details.
So visit the Chamber of Horrors Haunted House, open every weekend in October.
At 29th and Village.
And prepare to be scared.
Hi, John McGivern here. Did you know Network Health has Medicare Advantage plans that give you $25 a month back towards your Medicare Part B premium? That's $300 a year back in your pocket. Isn't that great? Call 833-7-NETWORK to learn more today. Network Health Medicare Advantage plans include PPO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Network Health Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal. Certain restrictions apply to the Part B giveback. Visit networkhealth.com/Medicare/extra benefits for details.
Are you considering a career in media? With the help of the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Foundation, you can be a part of this exciting field. The WBA is offering 4 scholarships, 2 for $2,500 and 2 for $1,500 to assist students enrolled in broadcasting or related educational programs. Students who have completed at least one half of their degree or graduation requirements are eligible to apply online at www.wbafoundation.org. Applications must be received by 4 p.m. Friday, November 3rd.
This is 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, and I am Milwaukee. Truth in the Afternoon is a platform where you and I can share our love, our lives, and our journey together. That is why, as a fan, your perspective is key. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So somebody asked me, first of all, I got laughed at when I said, put Vicks on your feet. And then they said, well, who told you that? And I said, my grandmother. And I'm like, why is it a problem when I say it, but when you say it, everybody should take it as gospel? Like, what is that? Or when I said, oh, I was told, you're categorizing me. And my response was, so? Well, you can't do that. You can't tell me what I can think or do. And if you understand other generations other than your own, instead of thinking your own is the end all to be all and everybody else should just go somewhere and die, you would recognize that different generations recognize different things and use different tools and instruments and thought processes and perspectives to understand. Mine grew up categorizing. That's where Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, ethnicity, right? Because you can assign certain things basically to it so that you have an understanding of it and then go from there. Because starting from scratch is that's too much work. Where are you from? Where's your family from? Your mother and your father and your, right? Is it fair all the time? No. Oh, you got that from your grandmother. Yeah. And clearly it worked because she lived till she was 97 years old. So if she could do it, I think I might do it too. And I sure did. I thought it was the dumbest thing. You ever do something, but you're like I've run out of things to do. I've run out of suggestions. I've run out of solutions. So I'm just going to try this because it's the only one I got. And then I did it and it worked. That was great. But what are some of the things that you've done? What are some of the things that have been passed down through your family, like 833-212-1017? What are some of those things that have been passed down by your family that you just take as it's just the way it is? Cooking rituals, Thanksgiving ritual, those traditional things that if you take a step back and look at it, you probably found out that it really didn't mean anything and it really wasn't accurate at all. But yet we continue to do it. We continue to, when we do this, like, why do men sit at the head of the table? Why do certain people have to cut the turkey at Thanksgiving? My question's always been why you got to have cranberry, but I've never liked cranberry, and I've never liked stuffing, like ever. Maybe it's because there's no seasoning. Then, of course, 10,000 people just holler, I got seasoning in mine, right? But I don't know. I've just been thinking about holidays a lot lately. Some of the things that we do that are traditional, like Thanksgiving, like Halloween. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be opening up my home to giving children candy on Halloween. Am I a spoil sport? Am I yeah. I just think of all the things you can celebrate throughout the entire year. Halloween is not one of them. Ghouls and goblins and people dying. And please, if you're going to be younger, come up with a new scary movie. Please? Some kind of scary movie. Come up with some kind of scary movie that's not the sequel to Jason. Like when I'm in my 90s, I'm going to be watching Jason, the 90th in the series. Really? Oh, okay. Over. Like how many times can people get killed? Like how many times can Jason come back from the dead? He done been blown up, shot up, burned up, chopped up, and he still keeps coming back. I don't get it. It's like The Exorcist. How many times can you do The Exorcist? Okay, let's wait. Okay, now she's going to vomit. Okay, now her head's going to spin around. Okay, now she's going to scream and say something profane. Okay, then she's going to curse God. Oh, here comes the priest. Then he's going to sprinkle holy water on. Like, really? Oh, okay. How many ways can you do Dracula? I have never been into scary movies. One, because they're scary movies. I don't like scary movies. I don't like to be scared. I don't like being able to, yeah. But I think I said it before. Exorcist and Carrie were the two movies that terrified the living bejesus out of me. You know who bejesus is? Everybody know who bejesus is? Yeah. Scared the devil out of me. And I've never seen those movies again. I saw Carrie one time in the movie theater, Halloween, when it came out, like 1977 or whenever, and I was done. And I never. Oh, they got a remake of Carrie. That's nice. I'll be over here. They gotta. I just can't do it. I can't, and I admit it. I'm a wimp. You don't have to smile that hard. It's just like, yeah, you are. Yes, I am. I admit it. I admit it. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I was going through the news today, and I saw something. I saw a couple stories that disturbed me. And I don't know, but it's another one of those, while we're doing stuff, let's spend some extra money. And my fear is eventually taxpayers are going to have to pay for it. But I have an alternative. A proposal is calling for the Amtrak station at American Family Field Stadium. They want an Amtrak station. Okay, so where's it going from? Where's the Amtrak station actually coming from? Because if the Amtrak station is coming from the Amtrak station and it's only going to AmFam Field, will it ever really get up to speed? I mean, AmFam Field is right there on 43rd Street. So that's like 4-5 miles on a good day, 6. Will the train ever get up to speed before it slows down? It'll never get up to like 55 miles an hour. So my question, the idea is being pushed by a nonprofit, New Rails, which is Northeastern Wisconsin Rail Advocacy Group. And here's why. It's possible from a technical point of view, according to the municipal and legislative liaison for New Rails, who told TMJ4, partners at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. The next step here is to wait and see if the Wisconsin Department of Transportation secures a grant to study Amtrak service from Milwaukee to Green Bay and Madison. Currently, Amtrak goes through Chicago, Milwaukee, and onto the Twin Cities, bypassing Madison and Green Bay. The track they would use to build an AmFam field station is owned by Canadian Pacific, Kansas City. Meanwhile, an exact location would need to be selected along that track. The idea, as the Business Journal points out, is for Amtrak service heading west from the intermodal station in downtown to stop at a station outside AmFam Field before turning north towards Green Bay or west towards Madison. An Amtrak station there could benefit new commercial development proposed on land currently used for AmFam parking. So it sounds like, since Amtrak is a quasi-governmental entity, that taxpayers would be dumping money into it, just like we dump money into the post office with not a whole heck of a lot in return. The stadium funding bill will be voted on by the Wisconsin Senate next week. The state assembly okayed the bill October 17th. So we're going to fund it. Then we're going to take part of the land and build an Amtrak station. And how long does it take a train to stop? So it'll never really get up to speed when it leaves downtown. So how long will it take you to get there? Number one. Number two, we've already got the hop. And we're sending the hop to some unknown, forsaken L line to go somewhere where nobody needs to go except people who are upper class on the east side who need to go somewhere downtown. So if we're going to do it, why not build a station for the hop at AmFam Field? And then you can come downtown, park, take the hop downtown. And it doesn't stop, like it's nonstop. There's no stops in between, or else it kind of defeats the purpose of it being an express train. You can only go from the intermodal station all the way down to AmFam Field. That's it. If you want to go to Madison to a UW game, or if you want to go to Green Bay, which I think is odd that the train doesn't go to Green Bay, then you would take Amtrak and go to a Packer game, and we'll have ample parking at where? Oh, no, it won't be at AmFam Field because they're taking parking. Who ends up eating the money? Taxpayers. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. Should we let Amtrak go to AmFam Field? Because eventually it'll become an unfunded mandate. And let me see, who's going to end up paying for that? You and me.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hurt at work? If you or someone you know has been injured on the job, they may be eligible for workers' compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, job retraining, and even a lump sum cash settlement. I'm attorney Alex Eichhorn, partner and workers' compensation attorney at Tabak Law. The workers' compensation system can be complicated and frustrating to navigate. At Tabak Law, we have helped hundreds of injured workers. Contact Tabak Law to set up an absolutely risk-free consultation at tabakattorneys.com. Contact Tabak for the payback. tabakattorneys.com.
Get your tickets now for the night of the year, Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Black and White Ball on November 4th. The ball sells out every year, so get tickets and sponsorships while they're available. Your ticket supports the work of Greater Milwaukee Urban League to empower communities and change lives. The ball's special entertainer this year is legendary Grammy Award-winning Patrice Rushen. Get your tickets now for the best night of the year at the Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Black and White Ball by visiting tmul.org. That's tmul.org.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Identify meetup locations and people you'll need to contact. Put your contact list in your wallet, on your phone, and somewhere visible in your home. Build a kit. Store enough food and water for 3 days. Don't forget your pets. And consider buying a pre-made kit. Keep at least 7 days of medication on hand. Work with your pharmacist and insurance company to secure the extra doses. Make copies of important documents. Keep them on your phone, in the cloud, or on a USB stick. Stay informed. Learn about local hazards. Take courses in CPR and first aid. And sign up for local alert systems. An early warning can give you the time you need to prepare for a fast-moving disaster. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I know how much you love listening to me bring all the smoke each and every day from 1 to 4, but now, not only can you hear me bring all the smoke, you can watch me bring all the smoke because the award-winning 1017 The Truth is streaming live. Watch all your favorite shows live.
Yeah, Truth Nation, you heard Tory Lowe, right? We are streaming all of our shows live every day. To watch the best radio station with the best on-air hosts in Milwaukee, you have to go to 1017thetruth.com and click the Watch Live link. From there, you'll be able to stream us on YouTube and Twitter and get an inside look on all the fun, like watching me from noon to 1 as I do my daily Fire Freestyle Live. Now, you know your girl got them bars, right, Benjamin?
Yeah, Mel, you got them bars, and the truth is must-see TV. So make sure y'all tap in to see my boy Tory Lowe and my girl Melanie Ricks to do their thing live every day by streaming 101.7 The Truth on YouTube and Twitter. We live, baby.
Well, we have a little bit of good news. That accident westbound 894 heading into the Hale interchange has finally been cleared out of the way, so things are getting much better on the bypass. Southbound 43, though, still heavy from just south of Silver Spring all the way down to almost North Avenue, with the northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. You are on the brakes from the Marquette all the way through the Stadium interchange on westbound 94, and heavy on 41 southbound from Silver Spring all the way down past Mayfair Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, chance for storms to the north, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 55. Then tomorrow, chance for thunderstorms north, early, mostly cloudy and breezy, very warm, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Stein. A late interception thrown by Packers quarterback Jordan Love sealed Green Bay's fate on Sunday afternoon as their comeback falls short in the 19-17 loss to the Denver Broncos. Love finished the game with 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, but once again ended the game on a turnover.
All right, obviously extremely disappointed. We keep digging ourselves in a hole and give credit to Denver. They did enough to win.
The Packers are now losers of 3 straight games, and they will return home in Week 8 to host the Minnesota Vikings. Over to baseball, where a 9th-inning grand slam by Adolis Garcia helped the Texas Rangers avoid elimination with a 9-2 win over the Houston Astros in Game 6 of the ALCS on Sunday night. A Game 7 winner-take-all is set for tonight in Houston. That first pitch is set for 7 p.m. The Sports Update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Truth Nation, the Milwaukee Bucks tip off their season on Thursday night, and we know how to excite the city. And, well, we know that it's going on, and we're all ramped up and ready to go, just waiting for it to start. Giannis, Damian Lillard, that whole era of Bucks basketball is about to begin. So to celebrate the return of the Bucks basketball, the award-winning 1017 The Truth will be broadcasting the Bucks and 76ers game live. So make sure you listen right here to Bucks basketball on The Truth this Saturday as the Bucks welcome the Philadelphia 76ers into Fiserv Forum. Coverage starts at 6. Tip-off at 6:30 p.m. Make sure you check it out right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. And speaking of, the time is almost here. We've been entering Truth fans into the Gruber Law Offices 5K giveaway. And on Halloween, that's Halloween, like October 31st, we finally pick our next one call. That's all $5,000 giveaway winner. Be sure to tune in to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on Tuesday, October 31st, to make sure you don't miss your call. So you need to be by the phone and listening, because if you do, they're just going to go to the next caller, to the next person, to the next person on the list until they find somebody that'll answer the phone and win the $5,000. So again, that's the big Gruber Law Offices 5K giveaway next Tuesday on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. And I can tell you exactly what time they're going to give it away, between 9 and 12. That's all I got. So you need to be listening. You need to be by your phone from 9 to 12. And if they pull that random name, they're going to call. And if they don't, they're going to pull another random name. And they don't, they're going to call. And they're going to keep calling and calling. And I hope they don't start at 11:30. Might run out of time. Be like, oh, well, nobody won. I guess I'll keep it. Maybe we'll make it 10,000 next time. Or we just won't give it away this time. That's why you got to be there. You need to be there on Halloween. What better thing to do on Halloween than to win $5,000? That's what I'm talking about. $5,000. And all you had to do is listen to who? Little old me. 833-212-1017 is the number. We've been talking about whether or not Amtrak service should go to AmFam. I thought we would just get rid of the Amtrak and kind of put in the L. Kind of put in the hop, you know. I mean, they got the L line, so you may as well run the A line out to AmFam, right? I mean, if we're going to spend this much money and we have this much real estate, if you're going to build it out. It's in the summertime. It won't be snowing. And just kind of have it go out to AmFam. It's an express run from the intermodal station all the way down. Now, here's the kicker. You're going to need more trains. Or you're going to need longer trains because a lot of people would end up taking it. You're going to need more parking downtown so I can get to the intermodal station or somewhere nearby so I can hop on the hop. That's kind of redundant, isn't it? Hop on the hop. Anyway. We're already adding a line to nowhere. Why not add a line to the Amtrak? And if you want Amtrak, let me rephrase that. AmFam feel. So it just makes sense. We already have the hop. Take it and use it and send it to AmFam Field. Is there anywhere else in the city you would want to take the hop? Like if you lived in Menominee Falls, would you take rapid transit from downtown? I know we got buses that do that. But would you take a rapid transit train? And it doesn't make any sense having a train that runs in the city, right? So it would need to run up Fond du Lac or be elevated to get you all the way to a suburb. Germantown, Menominee Falls, something like that. Maybe run one out to Brookfield. Oconomowoc is too far. That high-speed rail they were trying to build that stopped in Oconomowoc is, how's it high speed if it stops multiple times? It's no longer high speed because it'll never get up to speed because it has to go slower to be able to stop at all the stops. Oh, we need one in Waukesha. We need one in Oconomowoc. We need one in, No. So that kind of defeated the purpose. So we're going to have to grow. We're going to have to expand. If you want to grow the population, you're going to have to grow all the accoutrements around the city. You're going to have to grow transportation. We're already expanding the highway. I think the only thing we need now are tolls. Put in the tolls. Let's get more money. That way we won't need this idiotic 2%, but it's too late. Now we got a 2%. I wonder how many businesses are going to move out of the city because people don't want to pay the 2%. I mean, they're just going to pass it on to you. But I have to go back and check to see what is included in the 2% tax. And you have November and December to make any adjustments that you need to make in order to ensure you don't incur or your customers don't incur the 2% tax. But that's a substantial tax when you're looking at 19, 18, 17% increase. And now we tack 2% on top of that. That's a bit much. But that's just me. I want to remind you to remember to join us on the award-winning 1017 The Truth as we stream live on YouTube and Twitter. The handle is at 101.7 The Truth. Is there a point in it, or is it just 1017 The Truth? I don't know. I guess I got to look it up. Why don't I click this button and see? Click. I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Now I got to Google it. 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host. But then again, there's this.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Calling all Black-owned business and entrepreneurs. The award-winning 1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black
More
Business
Truth
Give
in the
Back.
Afternoon.
Go to blackbusinessgiveback.com for your chance to sign up to receive 3 months of free advertising on The Truth, valued at $6,000. It is that easy. Grow your business today by signing up for our Black-owned business Give Back. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Black Chamber Radio. December 8th, 2023, the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce will once again bring to life the Black and Diverse Business Showcase. You should be there. Featuring Black and diverse businesses from around the state. You should be there. TWBCC.com to register now. You should be there. Vendors, you should be there. Entrepreneurs, you should be there. Elected officials, you should be there. TWBCC.com to register now.
You should be there.
You will never see Black and diverse businesses the same way again. You should be there. Register at TWBCC.com today so you can be there. December 8th, 2023.
You should be there.
You should be there.
All insurance companies, they want to know where are your cars housed.
Right.
They want to know how far are you driving to get to and from work every day. They want to know all these different things for weather patterns. Are you living in northern Wisconsin, or are you living down in Tornado Alley somewhere in Kentucky? These things make a difference as to how your insurance rates are formed. It needs you to be factual, and every single time somebody commits these different frauds, it all adds up, and everybody ends up paying the price for it down the road.
Erie Insurance, providing the protection you need and the service you expect, all at a great price.
All right, Team Pella, listen up.
Thanks, John Kuhn. Customers love our products with limited lifetime warranties.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Check out these big plays. Incredible innovations like blinds and shades between the glass, stylish windows with hidden screens that make game days a breeze. The installation is complete in as little as a day, leaving no mess, no hassle, just perfect results. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Let's go.
6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers on 10/31/2023.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, Propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not a shy little girl, I'm a wizard with a pearl in my hand.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I was looking at this story from Milwaukee Journal Sentinel that had, speaking of faking people out and stealing stuff and committing fraud, a Milwaukee man and his partners created, get this, a fake country to steal $11.5 million in COVID funds. Wait, what? $11.5 million scheme that prosecutors say involved a non-existent country and its fictional consulate ended last week with fraud convictions against the Milwaukee man and 3 Illinois co-conspirators. A federal grand jury in August returned an 18-count indictment charging Aziz Hassan Bey, known as Chauncey Hooks of Milwaukee, Latez Osiris Bey, a.k.a. Devon Robinson, Minister Zakar Ali, a.k.a. Anthony Allen, and Divine 7L, a.k.a. Mark Stevens, or Mark Nesbitt, with conspiracy to commit fraud and mail and wire fraud. Aziz Bey and 7L also were charged with money laundering. Through a variety of schemes, the defendants attempted to fraudulently pocket about $11.5 million from 2 federal programs designed to help businesses that were struggling through the COVID-19 pandemic. The indictment and prosecutors charged. Well, prosecutors charged during the week-long trial that the defendants targeted loans from the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program and the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. Scheme ran from June 2020 to July 2021, and they believe the foursome fraudulently collected nearly $1 million of it. As part of the scheme, prosecutors say the consulate of Al Morak was incorporated in 2018. Aziz Bey was listed as the registered agent and director for the fictitious consulate office, state records showed. During the trial, an official from the State Department testified that Al Morak is not a country recognized by the U.S. and has no diplomatic status. How'd you even start a business? Who works for the state that you put a business in and you tell them it's a consulate, that you can't use Google to search to see whether or not it's a real country? Wow. Prosecutors note the address of defendants used was actually a duplex in Milwaukee. In addition, prosecutors charged that Aziz Bey, Ali, and L falsified records submitted to the state in order to defraud lenders by removing liens from the titles of luxury cars they owned, including a Corvette, BMW, and Land Rover. Titles of these vehicles were mailed to the address used by the fictitious consulate in Milwaukee. The indictment states, as a result of the defendant's false and misleading statements and omissions, Wisconsin Department of Motor Vehicles issued titles to A. Bey and the consulate for multiple vehicles free and clear of any liens held by lenders. Prosecutors argued during the trial that the foursome shared the proceeds amongst themselves, some of it to buy luxury items, cars, jewelry. They falsely claimed on applications that the loan proceeds covered business expenses, including false figures of the business numbers of employees, monthly payroll expenses, gross revenues, and cost of goods sold. The government also charged the defendants with defrauding the U.S. Small Business Administration out of $775,000. Foursome is scheduled to be sentenced on February 1st. In an unrelated matter, Bey is charged with illegally possessing a machine gun. That case goes to trial next year. How did we get that far? How? How did it get that far? I just want to know. How do you use a fictitious? But it also shows one other thing. You ready? No matter what you do, eventually, when it has to do with money and the government, you're going to get caught. No matter what, you're going to get caught. Especially with free money. Because eventually they're going to track it. Eventually you're going to have to file some kind of report. Eventually it has to show up on somebody's taxes. And when a machine is doing that work, and when a machine is checking it and it doesn't match, it's a red flag. And they're going to come after you. And so it took what? 3 years? 2 years? They started in June of 2020, and it took all until now to pop up. But they got them. It's like voter fraud. You can vote. You can get away with it that day. You can take a year or two to get away with it, but eventually they're going to pop up and say, excuse me, where's this company at? Where's your money? Where are your employees? Where are the Social Security numbers that go with your employees? Like they're going to start looking for prior tax returns that aren't going to show that you had money. Then what? Like there are multiple organizations right now that will eventually get burned because they took PPP money. Not to mention all the other things. And so I find that interesting, but I don't know if I'm at least they're going to jail for $1 million, right? They didn't go to jail for how much did Chantia Lewis steal? Right? Like she didn't steal enough. That's just me. Like if I'm gonna steal some money, right? I'm gonna steal about $11 million. But I also want to spend it a little bit. I want to be able to, I mean, she was removed from office, 2 felonies, a misdemeanor. Did they dismiss him? Oh, they got her for misconduct in public office, no contest, and intentionally accepting an illegal campaign finance distribution. She made $73,000. She took $21,666 in campaign false travel reimbursements from the city. Why? I don't understand. Is it that much money? $20,000? Now, if I had heard she took $20 million, I would have been like, okay. But you didn't get away. You didn't get to enjoy it. You didn't get to go party, buy you some $1 million shoes or something. Ain't that what women like? Shoes, purses, and what? Fur coats or something? I mean, I don't know. Being totally gender biased, right? I mean, really? Like if you stole that much money and you were a woman, would you go to Sephora or Ulta? No. You're gonna find you're gonna fly to France and go find Dior and go buy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm gonna go where they make it. It's gonna cost me. I'm gonna fly first class on one of those airlines where you got to sleep when you cross because it's so far you got to go to sleep to get there. Yep, United Emirates, just wake up. Would you like a shower, sir? Would you like? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. You got a bathrobe and pajamas and I'm $22,000. Really? Can you take a decent trip to Europe for $22,000 with a family of 4? Probably not. A family of 4. Your airline ticket's gonna be $1,000 each. Round trip if you fly coach. I ain't flying coach. But no, seriously, with all things being equal, you get a coach seat, you're going to Europe, you might pay what, $500 from New York? It might cost you a couple of $100 or $100 to get to New York. You know what I'm saying? So flying out of Chicago, you can get a really, really, really cheap trip. You could probably do it for like $8 with a hotel, flying there, a package to go on a tour. You could get it done, family of 4, for about $8,000. Probably less. $22,000 for what? I don't understand. For what? And what did you even do with the money? It's not enough money to cause damage. It's not like you took the money and invested it and you made money off the stock market, or you bought a government bond and made 5%. You know what I'm saying? You were like penny ante, little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit of this, little bit of that. And it's not that you left the paper trail, you left the wrong paper trail. You double dipped. Like if I did that, I would look at it, go through it, and went, okay, it looks like I messed something up. Maybe I need to redo this, or pay that back, and then until I figure out where I can find the receipts to that or something, or don't take it. But I don't know. So it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. 833-212-1017 is the number. What's on your mind? We have Top 5 at 5 coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon.
The Milwaukee Bucks season starts Thursday night, and we know the whole city is hyped for the official debut of Giannis and Dame on the court together.
Truth Nation, we want to make sure that you are in on the action, and this is why we will be broadcasting the Bucks vs. 76ers game live on 101.7 The Truth. Yep, the home of Milwaukee Black Talk is now the home of the Milwaukee Bucks this Thursday for the season opener.
So make sure you catch Bucks basketball on The Truth this Thursday as the Bucks welcome the 76ers into Fiserv Forum. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. with tip-off set for 6:30 p.m.
This is 101.7 The Truth, Sherwin Hughes, host of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. My show is enlightening, entertaining, educational, and informative. We talk about everything from national issues to things happening right here in our own backyard. More importantly, I discuss ways that we can come together and find solutions collectively. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes Monday through Friday on 101.7 The Truth from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Central Standard Time.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or a warm meal to eat, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
But the good news is, there's an organization making a big difference. Covenant House.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and the tools they need to succeed in life.
I have no words to express how Covenant House changed my life. They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, and love, most of all love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges, and their lives are transformed.
Covenant House is changing the lives of young people in cities across America.
To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
A promise is potent, born of intention, fueled by commitment. It's seeing things through, always showing up. And we know a thing or two about promises here at Susan G. Komen. Over 40 years ago, we locked arms with you toward one vision: a world without breast cancer. By investing in life-saving research and standing up for patient rights, we are shifting the system so all people everywhere get the care they deserve. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to raise money to honor the best friend you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Ending breast cancer needs all of us. Visit Komen.org and be a part of the Susan G. Komen community today.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. An alleged attempt robbery near 20th and Lawrence left 2 people with life-threatening injuries. The shooting occurred Sunday evening around 4 p.m. where a group of 18-year-olds exchanged gunfire with a 25-year-old. 2 other 18-year-olds were taken into custody by the Milwaukee police, who are investigating the incident, and the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office is reviewing all pending charges for those involved. A new Kohl's department store is set to open on November 3rd. The store will take the space of the old Boston store building on North Val Phillips Avenue, with entrances on Wisconsin Avenue and an entrance from the 3rd Street Market Hall. The opening of the store in this location is a part of Kohl's strategy to create smaller and more regional stores to cater to local markets. The department store will also house a 2,500 square foot Sephora and will also accept Amazon returns. A new dog park is set to open under I-794 in summer of 2024. The Milwaukee Downtown Business Improvement District and the historic Third Ward Business Improvement District planned the $750,000 development. City officials have also approved a Riverwalk, which will be featured by the dog park. The park will feature small and large dog areas, fancy fencing, synthetic turf, water stations, and much, much more. The park is also part of an initiative to better bridge the downtown and Third Ward areas. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. Maybe it got too cold outside and people just said, I'm not calling. It's too cold. It's too cold. I can't call. It's too cold. Hey, I want to remind you about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Team Pella is executing some incredible plays. Products with limited lifetime warranties. Incredible innovations like blinds and shades between the glass, stylish windows, hidden screens that make game day a breeze. So if you got people trying to look at your big screen TV, you can just close it and they're on the outside and they can't see in. Installation is complete in as little as a day, leaving no mess, no hassle, just perfect results. Schedule your free consultation today, PellaWI.com. That's Pella, PellaWI.com. And then we go to
number 5.
I'm a little squeamish about this because, well, the jury selection in the Waukesha County trial of Jesse Kershesky, accused of killing her friend, and she used poison eye drops, began today. It'll continue until tomorrow. It's a case that dates back to 2018. Pewaukee woman's death was thought to be of a drug overdose. The toxicology came back and found high levels of tetrahydrozoline, a drug found in eye drops in the victim's blood. Prosecutors accused the now 39-year-old Kershesky of poisoning the victim, a friend she was caring for at the time, and stealing tens of thousands of dollars. She called 911 on October 3rd, 2018, said the victim was unconscious, not breathing. Deputy found the woman laying in a recliner with crushed medication on and around her, as well as prescription bottles. Court filings said Kershesky told investigators the victim didn't have any family and she would check on her 2 to 3 times a day. Kershesky was the victim's power of attorney. A friend of the victim told investigators he didn't believe it was a drug overdose and thought Kershesky and her mom were involved. January 2019, medical examiner said the victim had a fatal dose of the main ingredient found in eye drops, and there shouldn't be any of the drug in the woman's blood, adding it was impossible to have that level in the blood just by using it in the eyes. At that point, investigation was reopened. She was arrested in July of 2019. Court documents said the interviews with investigators, Kershesky said the victim must have staged a suicide, denied hearing of Visine poisoning, and the victim had tried to kill herself before, and then that she was ultimately gave the woman a water bottle with 6 Visine bottles in it. 6? Prosecutors believe Kershesky stole at least $300,000 from the victim, spending tens of thousands of dollars at 2 casinos. She's charged with first-degree intentional homicide and 2 counts of felony theft. And if she's found guilty, what does she get? See, that's what I'm talking about. Give me the information on if she's convicted, right? I'm sorry. When I see stories about us, they always add at the end, if convicted, this person got 300 years. And, well, how many years will she get? 40? 60? 80? I don't get it. I say put it in there.
Number 4.
From JS Online, Wisconsin's prisons are severely overcrowded and understaffed, while facilities in Green Bay, Stanley, and Waupun have actually been under lockdown for months. Lockdown is what's called modified movement. There are no visitors, and prisoners have little time outside their cells. Department of Corrections spokesperson Kevin Huffman told USA Today Network Wisconsin that Stanley's situation is different from Green Bay and Waupun. Those incarcerated at Stanley, which is in Chippewa County, still have access to some recreation, visits, and vocational programs. All the while, more people are in restrictive housing across the state prison system. Akin to really solitary confinement, those in restrictive housing are housed alone, cannot visit the cafeteria, and rarely leave their cells except to shower. In August of this year, the state had the highest number of prisoners in restrictive housing since May of 2019. The state's prisons have also been plagued with other problems, and here's what you need to know about conditions inside the prison. 1, death and rodent infections reported in several prisons. 2, Wisconsin prisons are vastly understaffed, with some facilities having a more than 40% vacancy rate. 3, understaffed prisons report prisoner overcrowding. And this summer, more prisoners were in restrictive housing in the summer than there were in the last 4 years. Statewide, there's assaults on staff. They're at their highest in a decade, and correctional employees do not recommend working at prisons, cite low pay as the reason why they leave. Makes sense to me.
Number 3.
A children's clinic on Milwaukee's north side will soon shut its doors and stop its primary care services. Let me reread that so that there's no mistake. A children's clinic on Milwaukee's north side will soon shutter its primary care services impacting thousands of patients. Children's Wisconsin says it's reducing services at Next Door Pediatric Clinic on 29th and Clark. The Children's Wisconsin spokespersons say they hope all the families can transition, and they hope to have them transition to other locations by December. But for many, Next Door Pediatrics is more than a doctor's office. Some people have been, going there for years. And so after learning Children's Wisconsin's planned to shutter primary care services, clinic supporters started a petition fight against the change. It has more than 600 signatures and says the clinic serves more than 2,000 patients. I'm torn because I know in healthcare, safety is a priority, and when you don't have proper staffing, it's difficult to keep people safe, and it's difficult for people to come in and get quality care. And so before you complain about the type of care or the quality of your care, it's important to simply shut it down so that there doesn't come the issue of getting poor care and quite possibly someone getting injured or losing their life.
Number 2.
Well, a car crashed into I shouldn't laugh. A car crashed into and then landed inside a Milwaukee wine bar Saturday morning. Surveillance video shows 2 people walked away and actually left the car behind. Shattered bottles of wine and put actually a lifelong dream on hold at Thelma Carroll Wine Merchants at 6th and Virginia. Rebecca, Gerald Hall, who owns the bar with his wife, Rebecca, said that we opened the bar last year. It was basically kind of a lifetime dream come true. Of course, now we need to put everything on pause, which is pretty heartbreaking and devastating. For now, a cork is temporarily put in the couple's dream as they clean up the mess with help from family, friends, and the property owner. It's like a small army of people that showed up and hundreds more on social media and emails that are lending support. And if you could see this picture where the car went through the front and hit a pole, and hope there's insurance, because that's a lot of wine. That's a lot of wine. I bet all the stray dogs and cats that week, I bet Saturday they had an absolute great time.
Number 1.
Well, Terrence Redmond, know who that is? Well, Saturday the 14th, they were walking home out with a friend, Sherman and Capitol. While they crossed the street, all he saw was bright lights. CBS 58's Ellie Nakamoto-White spoke to Redmond, who said it was all a blur. I remember flying off a little bit, and next thing after that, I remember my aunt screaming for me to wake up. 29-year-old was rushed to a nearby hospital. Multiple surgeries later found that he'd been struck by someone speeding by, who then left. And Redmond asked, why didn't they stop? I mean, if it was somebody you cared about, you would want them to stop and check on and make sure they're okay. You don't want to hit somebody and keep going. Redmond suffered serious injuries, broken bones, missing teeth, lacerated liver, dissected aorta, which could have been deadly, and a split in his face from the nose to his chin. The pictures look like I shouldn't be here right now. A 57-year-old pedestrian was struck and hit by a car Sunday, October 22nd, just after midnight. Police say they were in the hospital suffering from life-threatening injuries. Fields said these people's lives count. And so we're having an issue at this intersection, right? This is an intersection where we've had the second hit and run in a week at the same location. Now, before, that same issue was over on Center and Fond du Lac in 27th Street. Now it seems to have moved to Sherman and Capitol. And so at what point are we going to, and I'm pretty sure the city and the police department have been working on that, because that's two near fatal accidents that they've been working on. So we have to start looking. You got to start being careful, or I don't know, maybe you just don't walk anywhere.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Melanie Ricks, and the time is now, Milwaukee. I believe that our listeners deserve the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that's exactly what we're going to bring to you every day from 12 to 1 p.m. We're going to be talking about life, love, relationships, sports, pop culture, and all things Milwaukee. Listen to Nothing But the Truth with me, Melanie Ricks, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we are proud to share an encouraging story from The Truth's General Manager, Cherie Harris, of thriving through her breast cancer diagnosis.
What got me through this time was surrounding myself with positive people and just educating myself about cancer and making sure I know like the do's and don'ts with nutrition, making sure you get an adequate amount of sleep, and reaching out to my physicians whenever there's a problem, a question that needs to be answered. The more you know, the better you know, and the more active you can be or proactive about your health care. And so that helped me through this time. Now, this is silly, but I'm going to say I'm a foodie. What got me through this was just cooking, and just that brings love to me. That brings love to my family and some normalcy, right? And so that brought me joy, and just going out for walks, just trying to live my best life doing that, and making sure I say yes to going out and being around friends and hanging out with them and just being positive, because it is mind over matter. And I believe that the mind, the soul is going to help you through something troubling like cancer and recovery.
For someone who has a family member that's going through breast cancer or just any type of cancer, what are some things that you would recommend they do in order to be supportive?
I would say you don't have to make a grand gesture to let them know you're there. Sometimes a phone call just to check in, like, hey, how's it going? I'm here for you. Sometimes asking people what they need is stressful. Just give them what you feel they need, whether it's a blanket, a care package, a candle, inspirational notebook, anything like that is going to bring light into their life. It's going to bring joy to their life because it's a positive gesture. It's a loving gesture.
1017 The Truth and Good Karma Brands is proud to celebrate the fight against breast cancer. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. The Truth is the home of basketball on Thursday and football on Friday. The Marquette University High School Hilltopper football. We are the home. And we have a big round 2 football matchup this week. The Hilltoppers look to keep their playoff journey alive as they host the Bayport Pirates at Hart Park. Kickoff is set for 7 this Friday, and pregame is at 6:30. So high school sports on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. So that ought to be interesting. We got sports on Thursday night at 6 o'clock with the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll be simulcasting the game on ESPN. And then Friday night, Hilltopper football. So it should be pretty darn exciting. I was looking at some of the prep sports from last week, and it was not pretty. Some teams got smacked around. I think it's interesting that you can play all season, but yet nearly all the teams are in the playoffs. I don't understand that. Maybe it's just to make money, sell concessions. I don't know. But every team doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs. I think you have to have a team that has over a certain amount of wins to make it or represent your division, and then you go, and that's it. Because we got like 12 of them, right? You got the division. We got 5,000 students, 4,000 students, 3,000 students, 200 students, 100 students, like big, small, medium school. I get it because you want comparable and you want a winner in each category. But make it like 2, maybe 3 categories. And I get that the big school can't always win. No, the big school can play the other big school and they can win. And there should be a separate category. I get that. But when you got schools like Hamilton playing schools in Milwaukee where the school in Milwaukee has like the minimum number of students and you look over at Hamilton and they got like, they're filling up the whole sideline. That's some, yeah. That's city football versus suburban football. I'm sorry to say, depending on the suburb, you're going to probably lose. You ever been to Arrowhead, their locker room? It's like a college team's locker room. It's phenomenal. They spent some money. I walk in that place, I'm like, is this Lambeau? I mean, I'm not mad. I get it. Wisconsin won this weekend. They beat Illinois, the Illini. Don't get mad at me because I'm from Illinois because I didn't graduate from University of Illinois, so I am not part of the Fighting Illini. I'm a Redbird. So I'm just saying. Tune in this week on The Truth, Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. Carrie Noni will be joined by Sarah Noble of the Be Noble Group and representatives from Planned Parenthood to discuss the return of Planned Parenthood to Wisconsin and what health services they're providing. Again, that's More Than a Movement powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. This Saturday, 11 o'clock, right here on the award-winning 101.7. Should I say The Truth or The Truth? The Truth. Okay. See, that was easy. That's actually pretty simple. I'm just saying. Well, how are you, Kyle? It's a pretty slow day. It's taking it easy. Loafing along. You done with your show? Superstar from ESPN. You know? I just sent you a interesting story on your email, by the way. You should. Yeah. I can't talk about it on the air. I sent it to you. 833-212-1017 is the number. I guess I should probably check, shouldn't I? I haven't hit the talk and text line all day long. That's on me. Let me go back and double check. Wow. Okay. Okay, so can I be transparent? Is Kyle still over there? Can I tell him that? I got a question for both of you all. What's a hot toddy? I've heard it my whole life, but
It's just a drink with like liquor in it for when you're sick.
How can liquor help you when you're sick? Doesn't liquor make you sick?
It cleanses you out.
Well, what's in a hot toddy? They said hot toddies for cold. Because earlier we were say what? I didn't hear that. I can't hear you.
I said that I don't know.
Oh, okay. Hot toddies for colds. So earlier we were talking about like black folklore remedies or stuff. And somebody said brown flour for diaper rashes? Brown flour? Brown. I've heard hot toddy. I mean, that's gone across black and white culture, right? But brown flour? Interesting. 833-212-1017 is the number. On the talking text line, hot toddies for cold, brown flour. You better cut that TV off. House phone during the thunderstorm. It's storming outside? I didn't know it was storming outside. Somebody said, actually, Vicks Vapor Rub has many uses. You can rub it all over your body if you're itching very badly. By the way, pigs do not have sweat glands. I guess that's why they say sweat like a pig, right? Because it's all inside. They use cranberry sauce during Thanksgiving simply because cranberries are harvested in the fall. And I used to eat hog head cheese. My mother ate hog head cheese. I could not understand why. On New Year's Day so that they would have good luck throughout the year, but it didn't work. I'm sorry. Happy Monday, Dr. Ken. Long time no hear from Madi. That's true. That's true. So a hot toddy is hot tea and whiskey. Hot tea and whiskey. 833-212-1017 is the number. I knew Kiana was going to call when I started talking about liquor.
Whatever. I don't even drink.
Did she just? Well, clearly, you know what a hot toddy is, don't you?
Yeah, that's because that's what my auntie grew us up on. She used to give us hot toddies all the time.
Now, did you say auntie instead of grandma to try to make yourself sound younger?
No, I was accidentally about to say grandma.
So have you drank a hot toddy?
Yes, a lot of times.
And
I still make them to this day. Yeah, I still make them to this day.
Every time you get sick?
Everybody make them different, though.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I said everyone makes their hot toddies different. Like me, I do the tea with honey, the shot of either brandy or whiskey, lemon and peppermint. That's how we do our hot toddies. So everybody does it different. But the browning of the flour, that works. All you just brown flour. You like how you used to do the old school way of making gravy. You brown the flour. So you use that.
And use it on a baby?
gasoline grease.
On a baby?
Yes, to stop the diaper rash. And it works.
But
it
wouldn't
works
brown
better than that stuff that they get from the store.
The baby powder? Well, the medicated baby powder stings.
No, not the baby powder. You know that like A&D ointment or that stuff that doctors give out?
Right.
It works way better. Way better.
So then how do you... I don't even want to know. Because
the way I understand it is because it stops the pee from hitting the rash. Okay. It soaks up, like it gives the pamper time to soak it up, and what don't get soaked up by the pamper gets soaked up by the flour, and then the Vaseline grease protects the skin from getting wet. It's like the wax stuff for your car. It just rolls right off, and so that gives your skin time to heal. It's the best thing for your baby.
But now I got chunks of pea-laden flour
but that's the reason why they made soap and water and towels. Soap, water, and towels.
I'm just seeing brown chunks of flour with pea in it, a diaper, and I'm wearing it around. Like, that's just bizarre to me.
No, when they use the bathroom and it turns into this chunky paste stuff, you clean them.
Well, I get that, but you don't clean them automatically, right? So sometimes you just laying around.
Yeah, if they have a diaper rash, if they have a rash, you have to clean them often, more often than you would usually, so that the rash will go away.
Okay. Gianna, can I ask you a question?
What's that?
What are you doing?
About to get off of work. I'm driving.
Okay. Because I be hearing some bizarre stuff in your background. That's just kind of weird. You be doing some weird stuff.
It's wet out here. Oh my goodness! Almost just hit these turkeys.
Is it raining?
It's some turkeys on 68th and Villard walking across the street.
I wouldn't tell people where you at just in case you hit them, and then they could take a picture.
Oh, well, I ain't hit them, but they are. There's two or three turkeys walking across the street. I've never seen turkeys this close.
Really?
I mean,
I see them all the time.
Not right here.
I see them all the time.
I've seen them in Brookfield.
I see them all the time.
Y'all have a good day.
All right, take care.
All right.
Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's big week for First Stage. Truth Nation, the NAACP Image Award nominated novel, The Forgotten Girl by India Hill Brown, will be coming to the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center in Milwaukee. The play follows the journey of teens looking to learn about their town's history of segregation. This entertaining play runs from October 20th to November 12th. Big Week on 1017 The Truth is sponsored by First Stage. Visit firststage.org today to get tickets to The Forgotten Girl.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas.
And Telly Hughes.
From Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. And guess what?
What is that, DT?
Our Truth fans can now watch and stream us live every day, Telly.
Wait a minute, Denise. Let me make sure I got this thing right. Our amazing and incredible Truth fans can go to 1017thetruth.com, click the Watch Live link, and watch me and you do our thing live from YouTube and Twitter every morning?
Yes, Telly, that is exactly right. So now they can watch you almost lose your black card every Friday during our Truth Telling Hits segment.
Come on now. You know I'm never losing my black card. But Truth Nation, you gotta tune into all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows, as you can not only listen live on the app, but you can also stream us live all day, every day by going to 1017thetruth.com and clicking the Watch Live link.
The Age of Reason took place over 200 years ago. It was a time of amazing scientific and philosophical progress all over the world. Truth, reason, and tolerance thrived and even shaped the Constitution of the United States of America, the foundation of our democracy. But now those building blocks of America, of democracy, are under attack. In just 2 decades, big tech social media billionaires have allowed their platforms to roll back truth, facts, and tolerance, and fill the screens in our homes and in our pockets with lies and hate. Online disinformation and hate affect everything, everyone, everywhere. It splits us apart, hurts our children, polarizes our societies, and is literally leading to violence and terror in our communities. Lies and hate everywhere are a threat to all people, anywhere. Be a part of the change. Help defend the future of our democracy. Go to counterhate.com to learn more.
We've got westbound on 94 with an accident at 35th Street, so watch out for that. Backup stretching all the way back towards the Marquette. We've also got some delays along southbound 41 from Silver Spring down past Watertown Plank Road. And we've also got southbound 43 backing up from Silver Spring all the way down to about North Avenue, with the northbound side slow out of the Marquette up past Keith. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, chance for storms to the north, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 55. Then tomorrow, a chance for thunderstorms to the north early, then mostly cloudy, breezy, very warm, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Stein. A late interception thrown by Packers quarterback Jordan Love sealed Green Bay's fate on Sunday afternoon as their comeback falls short in the 19-17 loss to the Denver Broncos. Love finished the game with 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, but once again ended the game on a turnover.
All right, obviously extremely disappointed. We just
we keep digging ourselves in a hole and give credit to Denver. They did enough to win.
The Packers are now losers of 3 straight games, and they will return home in Week 8 to host the Minnesota Vikings. Over to baseball, where a 9th-inning grand slam by Adolis Garcia helped the Texas Rangers avoid elimination with a 9-2 win over the Houston Astros in Game 6 of the ALCS on Sunday night. A Game 7 winner-take-all is set for tonight in Houston. That first pitch is set for 7 p.m. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the TikTok, you don't stop, stop to the
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, just in case you're not watching the news and you're not looking at things that are going on in the country, at least 2 people are dead and 30 are injured after super fog caused pileups on a stretch of Interstate 55 in Louisiana near New Orleans. The fatalities and injuries resulted from about 25 different vehicles that crashed today along I-55 west of New Orleans between Ruddock and Monac. St. John the Baptist Parish Sheriff Mike Trigger said to CNN affiliate WVUE, the stretch of highway runs between Lake Marapus and Lake Pontchartrain. So they said 2 fatalities were confirmed this afternoon. And northbound lanes, about 3 18-wheel trucks collided, fully engulfed in flames. Southbound lanes, there were 2 reported multiple car pileups, one of which also produced flames. One vehicle was pushed over the railing of the interstate, but both of those inside appear to be fine. All first responders are on foot because the crashes have left the area completely gridlocked. And they said it's going to take a while to get it all straightened out. Visibility levels were below a quarter mile at a nearby weather station at 4 a.m. until just before 10 a.m. Visibility likely neared 0 at times throughout the morning when the fog was at its most dense. The incredible dense fog called super fog was caused by fog combining with smoke from nearby fires. Super fog is a thick fog that develops in damp, smoky conditions and can send visibility plummeting to at least less than 10 feet, according to the National Weather Service. Louisiana's been battling unprecedented wildfires, extreme heat, relentless drought since the summer. Exceptional drought, the highest category tracked by the U.S. Drought Monitor, is at 62% of the state. And then the winds were much stronger. It's unlikely it'll be that way on Tuesday morning because they said the winds will be picking up. And so winds need to be calm or very light in order for dense fog to form and cause an issue. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. If you know of anybody or, you got family down in New Orleans, make sure you check and make sure everyone is safe and everyone is doing well. So we'll see. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's a pretty interesting day. I'm almost afraid. See, I'm at a point in life where I'm almost afraid to ask people questions because many times I get the I don't know. And then it's almost like I'm trying to catch you in something you don't know when I'm really not. I just want to know if you know. Like Sly and the Family Stone. Like, do many people know who they are? So, yeah. Made some great music. He's got a new book coming out, Sly Stone. Sylvester Stone has a new book coming out. So that ought to be pretty interesting. I look forward to reading it. One of the largest concerts in Milwaukee. He actually mentions the concert he had. I think it was in '76 at Summerfest. And he mentions that was one of the craziest concerts he's ever had. And one of the largest at Summerfest with 100,000 people showed up. Can you imagine 100? Do 100,000 people show up to concerts now? 100,000 people in one little arena? Yeah. I don't think we have anywhere here that can hold 100,000 people, do we? So that's interesting. We'd have to combine like the Forum, the Fiserv Forum, AmFam, and Lambeau to get over 100,000. So at least two of those? I don't know. But anyway, I find it interesting because he talks about the new book that he has coming out, and he's 80 years old. And I thought, wow, that's the first time someone has done something on Sylvester Stone. Sly Stone. And why is it that people who are named Sylvester has a nickname? Like, where do nicknames come from? And I want to know, how do we get certain nicknames for people? Like Elizabeth and Liz, I get it. But Elizabeth and Beth, I get. But where did Becky come from? Like, where did Becky come out of Elizabeth? Like Kenneth and Kenny, which I will never answer to Kenny. No, but I know people who are called Becky who are named Elizabeth. And I'm going, excuse me, like, why they call you Becky? Oh, my name's Elizabeth. I'm like, I thought that was Rebecca. At which point my daughter would never let you call her Becky. Her name is Becca. That kind of thing, right? It's just weird. Like nicknames, like Richard and Dick. Like, where'd that come from? Or William and Bill. William? Willie? I don't know. I always found it strange where nicknames come from. You have a strange nickname? 833-212-1017. I don't answer to Kenny. Like refuse to. Like, you'll call me and I won't answer. Because it's a kid name. It's a little kid name. Before we go to break, Van, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. What's up with nicknames?
Yeah, I know. How do you get Dick from Richard?
I don't know. I just, like, where's that come? Or Bill or Billy from William.
I was going to say you got to ask them nicely. But I wondered that, like, that it just came out of nowhere.
I know. It's just like, what is it? Is that the weirdest nickname you've ever heard? Or do you have names that just replace names?
Yeah, that was all right, because my nickname is Van, my real name is Vanez. But
but that's a derivative of your name.
Yes, like you just said William. Like, instead of it being Will, it's Bill. I don't get that one.
Me either. Maybe somebody got drunk.
Yeah. I just wanted to say my Richard joke.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, you have a nice one.
Take care. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand where that. So I watch. I guess I got to admit this before we go to break. I watch K-pop. Like, I'm a K-pop fan. Right? I'm a K-pop fan and I'm a K-drama fan. So I love Korean, Filipino, Chinese, right? Because my aunt's, she's Filipina. And so the culture's inculcated in, like, when I was growing up. So, and they carry, especially the Chinese, they carry English names. Well, what's your English name? And they'll say, my name is blah, 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 blah. And if it starts with an A, they'll be like, okay, your English name is Abby. I'm like, what? Well, your name is Ann something, 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 so we're just going to call you Abby. So they take on that. Like, so if I went to China or Japan, would I need to take on a Japanese name that's common so that people know what my name is? I would think so. Well, then wouldn't I get hollered at for pretending like I'm Japanese and I'm not? So 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, we're going to look at what state in America has the worst passwords in the world.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Calling all Black-owned business and entrepreneurs. The award-winning 1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black Business Give Back. Go to blackbusinessgiveback.com for your chance to sign up to receive 3 months of free advertising on The Truth, valued at $6,000. It is that easy. Grow your business today by signing up for our Black-owned business Give Back. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com, member FDIC.
You're listening to Black Chamber Radio. December 8th, 2023, the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce will once again bring to life the Black and Diverse Business Showcase. You should be there. Featuring Black and diverse businesses from around the state. You should be there. TWBCC.com to register now. You should be there. Vendors, you should be there. Entrepreneurs, you should be there. Elected officials, you should be there. TWBCC.com to register now. You should be there. You will never see Black and diverse businesses the same way again. You should be there. Register at TWBCC.com today so you can be there. December 8th, 2023. You should be there. You should be there.
Hi, John McGivern here. Did you know Network Health Medicare Advantage plans start at $0 a month? And you can get the extra benefits you need, like dental, vision, over-the-counter items, and more? I know because I'm a member myself. Call 833-7-NETWORK to learn more today. Network Health Medicare Advantage plans include PPO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Network Health Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
All right, Team Pella, listen up.
Thanks, John Kuhn. Customers love our products with limited lifetime warranties.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Check out these big plays. Incredible innovations like blinds and shades between the glass, stylish windows with hidden screens that make game days a breeze. The installation is complete in as little as a day, leaving no mess, no hassle, just perfect results. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Let's go.
6.99 APR for 120 months. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offers on 10/31/2023.
Disability Rights Wisconsin Medicare Part D Helpline is here to help disabled or elderly Medicare beneficiaries with questions about their Part D prescription benefits. The Part D Helpline may be able to help you save money on your Part D premium, deductible, and copays. Medicare annual open enrollment period runs October 15th through December 7th. For free, unbiased assistance, please call the Disability Rights Wisconsin Medicare Part D Helpline any time of the year at 1-800-926-4862.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Wouldn't you know? Those brown eyes see a side that nobody knows. Nobody knows but you. I wanna go wherever your thoughts lead you, treasures you hold. Why don't you show the truth? 'Cause what I've seen so far is heaven sent.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Had to play me some Alex Isley. You know, she's the daughter of one of the Isley brothers. 833-212-1017 is the number. There he is. Come on. I got a question for you, Mr. Sports Extraordinaire Kyle Wallace from our sister station, ESPN.
I'm from here. I'm the director of content.
So I'm trying to give you some love and some
I want people
support.
listening here.
Okay, I'm just saying. But I need you for sports. And the reason I need you for sports is because there is a breaking story that just broke regarding Giannis that says he has re-signed with the Milwaukee Bucks an extension for $186 million.
See, this is the thing. We had a quarterback named Aaron Rodgers that the Packers refused to put talent around. As a matter of fact, they traded away his talent in Devontae Adams.
Don't let the dough hit you.
But,
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, until your team looks terrible. But
That's
then
your team.
it
Sorry.
sure is my team. But then Giannis, you know, he was here with the Bucks, and the Bucks made a big move, and they gave away a lot of draft picks to get Drew Holiday. And what happened, Ken? What happened in 2021?
They won.
They won a championship.
Yeah.
And then this year, the Bucks didn't look too, they looked good going into the season, but they had some flaws, and they weren't able to. They got put out in the first round by an 8 seed in Miami Heat.
Couldn't execute.
Offensively, it looked rough. Giannis Antetokounmpo in crunch time was trying to pass the ball away.
Yep.
When the seconds clicking down on the clock. So what did they do? They said, you know what? Giannis didn't sign the extension this summer. He said he wants to, wait it out and see what the Bucks do. And what do the Bucks do? They make a tough decision and trade somebody in Drew Holiday that was a fan favorite, a community favorite as well, but got Damian Lillard, who's a top 75 player all time in NBA history. So that's what you do to appease your star player, but also to compete as well. And Giannis returned in by saying he's going to be here for an additional 3 years, which I believe now makes it a full 4 years. So we're going to have him here until 2026, 2027 season, I think.
Because his contract would have been up at the end of this year.
Because his contract was up. He has a
in
player
2024.
He has a player option.
Correct. That option year is 2024. And then he got a 3-year extension, which takes it to 2020, 5, 6, and 7 to 2028. So we'll see. We'll see. That's $186 million over 3 years. I'm sure it goes up each year as he goes, but 186 divided by 3 is averaging about $62 million a year. Still not a lot of money.
I'm sorry, what?
Still not a lot of money when Taylor Swift can make $59 million in one concert.
He can't sing like Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift can't sing. So what we doing?
And he can
Taylor Swift can't sing.
He can dance like Taylor Swift
can't sing. So what we doing? Swifty. Kyle Swift. That's your new nickname, Kyle Swifty.
That would be false advertising. Fake news. That is absolute fake news. I am the furthest from a Taylor Swift fan.
And so we're excited to let you know the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo have agreed to a 3-year, $186 million extension. And just so you know, that's according to ESPN's Adrian, I can't say his last name, Wojnarowski. But that's not an accurate number because it's a private entity, and you might leak a range, but they have no idea how much money he's getting. That's the information they have. They can't really no, because that's a private matter.
I mean, this is a great thing for Giannis in his career because this team is going to be competitive for the next couple of years with Damian Lillard if everybody stays healthy, and we need that. But then in addition to that, he just opened up not only a restaurant that he has, but also he has a clothing store as well. He's truly expanding his footprint between the community service that he does with the diaper donations that him and now his fiance Mariah do. And I can just see him taking on that role that Drew kind of left. Drew kind of laid the blueprint for how you can truly give back to businesses in the community.
Yeah.
And with the money that he's making, that's something I see him doing as well. So this is just a win-win for the community, also for Giannis, who's earned it.
It wasn't Steph Curry at about $62 million.
Steph may. I mean, they're
and now he's averaging $62 million. I think that's great because somebody recognized the talent that's there and said that not only can they compete, but they can actually win again. And now, Damian,
No, it's Dame time and freak time. So we're in a good place here for Milwaukee Bucks. I'm excited about the extension of Giannis. I didn't until I was literally coming down the stairs and I heard it getting announced there. I'm like, oh, that's what Ken wants.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And so it's great news, and that's why everybody should listen to the Bucks game this Thursday on 101.7 The Truth. That we'll have the official season opener here on The Truth from 6 p.m. to in the game.
Yeah, pregame at 6 and tip-off is at 6:30. Will be great. Saturday night we got football from the Hilltoppers. I mean, we're just turning into a sports mecca.
You're right. And then Milwaukee Panthers basketball starts.
Yeah,
coming
Panthers
up in 2
basketball's
weeks.
coming up.
High school
Yeah.
basketball,
Yeah.
MPS high school basketball's coming up in December and next year. So yeah, we got a lot of sports going on.
Trying to take over the city. I mean, the best radio station taking over the city. Isn't that appropriate?
It makes sense.
Makes sense to me. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Ken Rhea. Thanks for letting me join y'all show.
$186 million. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks for stealing Giannis for another 3 years, extending it, and really putting Milwaukee on the map as it relates to basketball, Wisconsin football, baseball. I mean, the next 3 or 4 years are going to be telling and how Milwaukee grows. So if the mayor's looking to grow the city, Milwaukee just had a great move to bring people to the city and bring people to downtown, bring people to the neighborhoods so that we can watch good sports, good entertainment, good theater, and good citizens. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show is coming up next for the rebroadcast. I'll be back at about 4 a.m. and again in about 22 hours. God bless. Take care. Thank you, Rhea. Appreciate you. Thank you to Kyle Wallace and Van and Kiana and everybody who called. I want to appreciate you. I'll see you later. Stay out the rain. It's raining, so be careful. Gets a little crazy, so drive carefully. I'm out.